Hi, it's a Crafty Chick, and welcome to Stamping Up with the Crafty Chicks 1st and 15th series. The 1st of the month and the 15th of the month, we get together to create a project. Today's project on December 1st is using the stamp set Bring On the Presents. This is a nice simple set for those who want something quick, who want to make a quick project, or for a beginner. This has the several different elements that you need to make a nice card. You have some large pictures of bows, a nice tag outline, and you have 4 sentiments, a couple of larger decorative elements, and a couple of smaller decorative elements. So let's get started, shall we? First, you're going to need a red ink and a green ink. I am using the Me Clover and the Real Red Classic Stamp Pad. If you don't have those, you could also substitute using lovely lipstick or Cherry Cobbler for the red. This is a great Christmas color. If you have Tranquil Tide Classic Stamp Pad, that will work well too, or you could even use Old Olive. You just need a green and a red. Give it that Christmassy look. Now, also, I wanted to show you a couple of things I was playing with. I encourage you to play with your stamp set once you get it, not only to become familiar with it, but also because sometimes there's a film from the factory and so forth. So you really want to stick your stamp in each one, just stamp a couple of times, 3-4 times on a piece of scrap paper at least before using the stamp on a project, just so you ensure you get a clean, clear stamp. What I did here was to show you a little bit of the versatility and options you have. These were stamped in white. This was stamped with Me Clover on Me Clover paper, Old Olive paper with Tranquil Tide ink, Berry Burst paper with Cherry Cobbler ink, and these 3 were done with Me Clover, and these 2 also were done with Real Red. Well, I'll bring this a little closer so you can see how you can get a darker outline on a lighter paper or even on the same color paper. And of course, if you want to use white, you could leave it white, or you could also color it in. You have a variety of options to color it in. You could use your, I gotta find them, here we go, watercolor pencils. You could use your Stampin' blends, and for this project, I have Cherry Cobbler and the light Me Clover that I might use, and also you could use a Stampin' blender pen, which can be dipped into your ink pad to use instead of blending pens. Or you could add water to this and use it to change your pencils into a watercolor look. I have other videos explaining how to do that in either the Quick Tip series or 3-Minute Thursday series. Also, these are really easy to fussy cut. You can either use the framelits that come with it or just cut it using the paper snips. You're also going to need some paper, Whisper White, I'm using some Whisper White note card paper and the envelopes that come with it. If you don't have the note card set, you can always get an 8.5 by 11 piece of Whisper White cardstock. So 2 of these, and you want to cut it here at the 5.5 mark then score it at the 4 1/4 mark, and then fold it in order to get a pretty A2 size card. And it really helps if you use your bone folder to score this. I just eyeball it, but a lot of people use a scoring tool to score it in the middle and then fold it. It's definitely a personal preference. I'm going to show you a technique to make your card look like it is a sweater, like a plaid sweater. Or you could just do a free form like that. Either way, so we're going to make that our background. Now this can take a little bit of time. So if you don't want to do this, there's larger pieces you can use. I'm actually using the smallest piece in the stamp set to achieve this result. Not the smallest piece, but one of the smaller pieces. So this right here, because it looks like stitching. You could do the same thing using any of these other elements. We're also going to do a project where we're just using the plain background paper, and I'm going to use mint macaroon because it is a very close color to this light Me Clover Stampin' blends, and we're going to do some coloring as well. Let's get started. So we have some choices here. We can use this that I've colored in Me Clover on white. Let's make one of those. I've got tons of scrap paper, so I try to use as much my scrap paper as I possibly can in all of my projects. So just ignore all the jiggly, the scribbles, scrabbles, and all that. So we're going to get this large bow, this one. We're going to get the Me Clover stamping pad. Moving this out of the way so I don't mess this up. And we're just going to ink it up. Make sure you have full coverage. And press it on the paper. There you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now I'm going to cut this little stinker out by hand. I do also, I think I said I had a fussy cutty video also. Or close this, otherwise I'll end up getting my clean paper in there, as I sometimes do. So in order to fussy cut something, you just want to cut the general shape of it, not having to be too fussy at this point. Then go around it, leaving a little bit of a edge, always turning the paper towards the scissors, and all you have to do with the scissors is this, and you turn the paper. That way you're in control better. It's a better way of controlling how it comes out. Moving the paper, not the scissors. And you can go as slow as you need to, like that. Or you can go faster if you want. I recommend to go pretty slow when you're first starting out. Now it's a personal preference if you want to leave a lot of white around it or not a lot of white around it. Now since this has some little edges here, I'm going to go ahead and put just the tip of my scissor right here between this little spot, just a tiny, tiny bit. And it just cuts it just enough. You want to start out small. You can always make it bigger, but you can't go back and make it smaller, right? So until you get used to it, just do a little bit at a time until you get the feel of it. You don't have to do this part if you don't feel comfortable with it. It does take practice. However, it also makes it look more realistic, but not entirely necessary. Whatever you feel comfortable with. It is your project after all. So that's it. It takes a little bit to fussy cut it, but not too much longer than it would to put it through the machine. Maybe. The machine is a lot faster, but that's okay. Get my garbage out of my way. So now we have those two. I need to get myself a piece of scratch paper. And I'm going to go ahead and color these using my Me Clover Light Stampin' Blends marker. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to color this whole thing one color. It's very easy. Now, a lot of people color it first and then cut it, which probably would have been easier, I guess. But I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I do it this way because it makes it easier for me to stay in the lines. Don't know why. So while I'm coloring this, I will fill you in with some information. Don't forget that I have a Big Shot giveaway going on right now. If you order $100 at any time from October 1st is when it started, ends December 31st, you either can have one order that totals $100, or you can have multiple orders that total $100. But every time you hit $100, your name goes in the drawing. You get an entry into the drawing. So I already have 3 or 4 people who have at least one entry, and I will be pulling the names not out of a hat. I'll do one of those wheel turn things online so you can see it on my computer screen and everything is fair and above board. And anybody who qualifies, their name will go on the wheel. And it'll be a live video done the first week of January. Date is not exactly set, but it's very easy to enter. Just have a total of $100 of a product ordered, and you are entered. Okay, so there's our bows. Now, we are going to take our paper. Let's see. This will fit on here nicely, right? Yes. There we go. I think that blends in pretty good. Maybe too good. Yeah. Maybe a little too well. So let's put that aside here. Let's get our white piece of paper that we are going to do our stamping on. You want to get your Me Clover pad out and your Real Red, or whichever pad you're using for your green and for your red. Now, ignore all my garbage over here. What we're going to do is make like this little plaid design. It's very, very easy, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So we're going to take this little one here. I have to find the box. Yes, we do. This little one here. And we're going to alternate between the green and the red, and have your little chamois candy or your Stampin' scrub pad. Now this thing looks pretty gnarly, but it doesn't come off. See, I'll have to find one spot that I don't already have ink on. It doesn't come off on your hand. Don't worry about that. That's my little sponge I put there so I don't get anything else dirty. Or you could use your Stampin' scrub pad. One side is for wet, one side is for dry. Either way, because we are going to alternate. We're going to start with the green, and we are just going to stamp into the ink and stamp on the paper. And do you see how I did that? It's going to be off a little bit. We're going to stagger it because this is going to be more decorative than perfect. Okay, and then we're going to wipe it off, clean your stamp, and which takes a minute. Okay, now we're going to go into the red and go between here. See, I'm doing that. I'm going in between the green. Don't do like me. Don't get ink globs on your paper. And they don't all have to be like straight. They can be crooked, however you want it to be. This is what I did. I'm not sure that this design is going to come out exactly like that one. I think I'll do some in different directions. Let's see how that works. I just like to do things that are different and not symmetrical all the time. So if you want to do it this way, then just keep everything going and like that, and alternate the colors. But for this particular one, I'm just going to go a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I can't remember which one that was green I had. Okay, and I'm just trying to make sure I have pretty much an even amount of green and red on my paper, or at least a mix. Again, it doesn't have to be symmetrical or even. So let me get this back on. What we're just trying to do is make a background using stamp. If you'd rather use pattern paper or for your background, go for it. This is just my project, and this little stinker keeps coming off because I'm not cleaning it well. Let's get this clean. There we go. There. It's just me. I'm pulling it off by rubbing too hard on the washcloth there. Also, while we're doing this, let me make another announcement that I am taking pre-orders or reservations for the 2019 Occasions catalog and the 2019 Celebration catalog. Now, they both come out in January on the 1st. They are available to customers, and they are available online in a PDF format. You can download it, or you can just see the items when you get onto my store at Stamping Up with a Crafty Chick at stampinup.net. Or yeah, a Crafty Chick at stampinup.net, something like that. I have the link below, as always. So let me know by posting a comment below, sending me an email, contacting me through my website by using one of the links above, and letting me know that you want those. For anyone who orders this year, there is no charge. If you wait till after 2019, then there will be a $3 charge to cover postage. I know you guys want to get them fast because there are some new items. Now, I really, really love the Occasions catalog. I cannot give things away. I can't like tell you what's in it, but there's a lot of really cool stuff and new product launch. So keep that in mind. All right, so this is our background that I just made, and this is the other one I made. Which one do I like better? That one. I like that one better. Anyway, I also did one like this that looks more like plaid. So just play with it and see what you can come up with. You don't have to do that one. Let's see. Which time do we have? We're in 23 minutes. Okay, let's move along. So now we're going to take these two. I do want two of these together. And we're going to use this, which, yes, we will stamp together as well. Finding a scrap piece of paper. Okay. And let's get that out of here. Ah, here it is. So we're using this one. And this one. It says a gift for you and the tag stamp, okay? So we also want to get the right size block for each stamp. So get out your, I can't see what number this is. Wow, this one doesn't have anything on it. I think this is B. Wow, this one is missing the letter. Nope, this is going to be C. Okay, this is C. And this one's a little smaller, so it'll fit on B. There. We're going to do the outline in green and the letters in red. So open these up again using the Clover. Ink it up so it's nice, good coverage, but it doesn't have to be crazy inked. You don't have to squeeze it down. These are pretty juicy, so just tap, 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 and you're good to go. Just, you don't have to really smush it down on the ink, but you do want to hold it tight on the paper, press down, making sure to get a nice coverage. And I love the sound it makes when it comes off, like that, so you know it's a good tight seal. All right, now I'm going to take the red. Oop. dop, dop, dop. And this one says a gift for you. I'm going to get a little bit more. There we go. This ink pad is a couple years old, so I want to make sure I get still juicy as heck though. All right. There we go. Beautiful. Using the right tools makes the difference, so make sure, again, that your block is the right size for your stamp. Otherwise, you might end up with a stamp that doesn't give you full coverage, or it's uneven. So, now we're going to cut this out as well. Just leaving like 1/8 of an inch around the edges. And then on this, you just got to be a little bit careful. Like I said, move the paper, not the scissors, and go slow. I have to go slow on these because I want it to be right. I don't want to cut the ink, which sometimes I do. There we go. Right as rain. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now we're going to put a little hole in there. So, unfortunately, I don't, oh, hole punch I have is this one. If you have a 1/8 hole punch from your Stampin' Up! Collection, by all means use it. This one's a little bit big, but that's the only hole punch I have, so I'm going to make do with what I have. And do I want to use a piece of string on that? Nah, that's not necessary. Okay, so we're going to glue these down and put that like that, and that is our project. Like I said, it's very simple, and we make our own background. Another option for background, which I would like to look at, is, give me another piece of paper. Here it is. I think I want to try something else. I'm not sure I really like that. Don't think so. Here we go. Let's try this. I just had an idea. What if we just make our background like this? What would that do? I know this is kind of like on the fly, but this is, I just wanted to do this on the fly on purpose so you could see, you know, everybody has a way that they think about things. Nope. We all have our creative processes. So I think what I might want to try is this little bow. Actually, let's try something completely different. That's too fat. Nope, this is the only one I got for this size. Okay. I think this might work. There we go. It's not quite straight. I need to put it's in. I'm using the Clover. Now that looks pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, so I'm going to try this piece. Let's get another piece of scrap paper. I like the background of that, but not for this particular, not with these two. So for these two, I think what I would like to do instead is a piece of mint macaroon, which goes nicely with the light shaded Clover. And I'm using the Clover Stampin' Up! Ink pad. And I'm using this. And I think what we're going to do is make like this. So I'm going to go about 1 inch to the right and maybe 1 inch into here. And We'll start from the bottom. Oh yeah, now that's a lot jazzier. This is going to be a lot better. Yep, for this particular bow. So we're going to do this, and we're going to come in like this. Nice. And I think we're going to have a little piece here. Now don't worry if this doesn't line up exactly, because it's going to be covered up by the bows. And then we're going to also have this piece going across. Line it up as best you can. Like I said, if it doesn't line up perfectly, that's fine, because this area is going to be covered up by those bows. I think that will work much better for our purposes. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Now we're going to put the bows here. Yes, that is so much better. 100,000,000,000,000,000% better. Absolutely. Now where's our bow? I got some ink on that one, so we'll use this one instead. Actually, I want it to go like that, so we're going to tuck it in like that. Oh, that's gorgeous. Much, much better. And we're going to use this background for this stamp set, but for something else. All right, so now we need to get our Stampin' Up! Our dimensionals. Dimensionals. They're little foam stickers that give your project's dimension. Hence the name. And I'm going to put 3. That way these are pretty sturdy. As you can see, I tried stamping on the back and then I did the other side. So I've got a messy back, but guess what? That's what the other side of the paper is for, and nobody's going to see it. You didn't know it, did you? Till I turned it over. So let's get a couple of these stinkers on here. Okay, so this is going to be my top corner right here. So let's see, we're just going to put these on. I think I'll put it on like that at an angle. And put this other one on top of it. Or under it. How do I want to do that? We'll do it like that. Yeah. Because we're going to have a couple of bows. Yeah. So we'll do it like that. I actually wasn't going to use this to begin with because the colors are so close together. Darn it, let's get this in. But I think I will. There. And then we're going to put this in between. That's why I didn't put 4. Sorry, I didn't tell you that. But I left one off under here because I need to tuck that stinker right in there. Oops, stuck it in there. Okay, so let's get a couple dimensionals for that one. Close your ink pads too, by the way, before you do anything, because I keep putting stuff, I keep getting things in my ink pad. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now we got ourselves a pretty card. Ta-da! Now, this paper is 4 inches square. And since we use the clover around that, we could use the clover paper as a background, or we could use the red background. So I'm digging and digging and digging because I have a lot of stuff over here, and I want to see which looks better. That or the red. I think that's going to look better because it's got that monochrome type look, and then this really pops out. That is so cute. Okay, so we are going to cut this to 5 1/2, and 4 1/4. And I am going to need my measuring tool for that. Oops, sorry guys. Sorry. I don't know why I'm whispering. Sorry. Okay. Let's not squish the pretty card we just made. Again, see, I'm just using a piece of scrap paper. Use what you got. That's what cheap, thrifty crafters do. Anyway, so we are going to make this upside down. Yeah. All right, so that's the long way. So we need this to be, I want this to be 5 and 5 1/4. Yeah. And we're going to, oops. I'm going to score it and then cut it. This is going to be 4 because I'm leaving 1/8 of an inch. My cutting blade is acting silly and I'm waiting for a new one, so I don't think that it's going to work. So I just scored it and I'm just going to cut using scissors. I normally don't cut straight, so wow, this is pretty amazing. That's straighter than I've cut in a long time. That scoring helps. Whoops, I say that, but now I'm cutting this part crooked. Cut on the square lines. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone because I'm just making it worse. All right, so this is 4-inch squared. So what I need to do is cut off a smidge there. Where is my pencil? It's going to line up. It looks like I'm going to need another 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch off right there. Okay, so I will let you know when I'm done exactly how big this is going to be. When I said we're going to create together, I wasn't kidding. This is whoops, Creative Processes. Oops, what is going on? This is stuck. Okay, we're going to go over here. If there's a way to break something, I will find it. Now, I was pulling this out earlier to change the blade, and I got 1/2 and 1/2 out. All right, so I'm going to cut this down. So let's see. There we go. So it should be 3 3/4. Yep, 3 3/4 by 4. I wish it was 4 1/4 because it's a little bit uneven that way, but I'm not going to center it then. I'm going to go like that. So it looks like it's supposed to be that way on purpose. Just shove it up into the corner a little bit. And if you make it uneven all the way around, it kind of looks like it's supposed to be that way. Just a little tip if you make any boo-boos. All right, now we are going to get my tape if I can find it. Where did I put it? I had it here. That is removable adhesive. Nope. Okay, so we'll get the tear and tape. I was trying to find my little tape gun thing, but I can't find it. Okay. So we're going to tape on this piece because it's smaller. So I'll use some tear and tape, or you can use glue, whatever you prefer. I don't mind using glue on layers that are not going to be on top, but I prefer not to use glue on the layers that are going to be on the top of my paper, because sometimes if you use too much glue or it's not thick enough, it will bubble or buckle or get the paper wet, and I don't want my top layer to look like that. Not after I spent all this time making it pretty and perfect, as perfect as I can. So let's take that off. Okay. Now we're going to set this up sort of here in the corner, like that. So I basically did it 1/8 inch on this seam, and so it came out off center on purpose. So now it doesn't look like I messed up, does it? Anywho, all right, now we're going to take this and we're going to put it on a piece of white paper, and then it's really going to pop. We can also put a sentiment, or we can put a design down here. I'm still thinking about that one, but that is really cute. That came out so cute. You take away the scrap paper. So that is card number 1. Now, card number 2, which was going to be card number 1, is, minus all this garbage, is going to be our background, whichever one you want to use. And what I wanted to do was to get a bunch of these little gift things, bunch of these little doodads, and just put them randomly all over this with a bow here. So we could have some like this. Actually, we're going to have it upside down, so we're going to have to do that one again. Let's see. We need this, and we're going to need our clover and whisper white scrap paper, and just press down on it, and I think I could get 2 out of this, maybe. Yep. All right. This time I'm going to cut them out before putting on the sentiment, because I want to place them on the card, and the sentiments are going to go in different directions. So yeah, let's use this one. So I want the sentiments to be kind of like hanging off, these tags hanging off a little bit, and then we're going to have this bow here like that. Not that one though, this one. Here we go. So we're going to fussy cut this bow, and then we're going to fussy cut the tags. This is the one I made before out of the green clover paper and the green clover ink. So just make little notches wherever those pieces are. Oops, move my ink out of the way and close it. Yep, I can be a little bit all over the place sometimes. But I don't know. You let me know if you like a pre-organized and preset project, or if you're okay with us creating together and me kind of going on the fly just a tad. I did have something in mind, but it didn't quite work out. until the end. I decided to change it, but we're still going to use that first paper that we did. But that's the fun of creating together. Do you remember that guy who had that painting show on public television, Bob? I forget his last name. And he was like, put a tree there, boop, 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 and some clouds there, boopity, boopity, boop. It's kind of like that, what I'm doing. Because I have an idea of what I want, but then as the project goes, I have to make some minor adjustments for the sake of the finished product. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to do another one. Here we go. I think I should do a red bow. What do you think? Let's do a different color bow. Of course, I don't think I got my red out yet. Oh, here's what I wanted. Like a little season's greetings. There's my season greetings. Do, 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 do. That's not going to go. Where did I, here's my red paper. Here it is. I don't have any red scraps, so we're going to start fresh. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to use the cherry cobbler because I want this to come out. So I'm using real red paper with cherry cobbler ink. And yes, I am inking the heck out of it because I don't know how this is going to come out. Ah, that came out pretty good, as Larry David would say. Pretty good. Where's my cleaner? Get my little Stampin' cleaner. Okay. There. So I'm just going to cut this out. There we go. If I see cut this. What might look really cute is if you had, I ran out, Winkostella. Put some Winkostella on it maybe, or use like maybe some glittery paper, you know, jazz it up a bit. But like I said, this is supposed to be simpler for beginners, but I'm not sure how many beginners know how to fussy cut, but here you're going to learn. You can't advance if you don't learn new skills, right? So don't be afraid to try it. Just cut a bunch of these out on a piece of scrap paper and get to cutting. And before you know it, you will be expert. Everything takes practice. There we go. Okay, so we have that one cut. And yes, that's better. I don't want two of the same. We want two different ones. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's go ahead and cut these out. So do you guys, are you ready for Christmas? I am totally not ready. I have a few gifts that I accumulate all year long, but I still have to wrap them, and I still have to get our Christmas Eve jammies purchased. Every Christmas Eve, when the kids were little, they were allowed to open up two gifts. One was our family game, and the other one was their PJs. And so what we would do, and we actually still do it even though my kids are in their 20s, we put on our PJs, our Christmas PJs, and as soon as it gets dark, well, first we play a game a little bit, or have something to eat, and then we make some hot cocoa. So when it gets dark, we get in the car, and we go to a certain side of town that is known for their neighborhoods really doing a huge decoration. I mean, it's huge. You go through, they have um, signs that say go this way, turn that way. So they direct you through the neighborhood, and everybody decorates together. So it actually is a storybook, and they have these huge wooden uh, platforms on the story. Um, these huge wooden storybooks that are like 5 or 6 feet tall. And then painted on there is like it was the night before Christmas. And then they have reindeer sitting out on the lawn. And then the next house, has the next line and so forth. And so by the time you go through the whole neighborhood, you've read the whole book. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and saw everybody's decorations. And so everybody knows that you're going slow and you have to go around the neighborhood like that. And it is really cool. So that's what we do every year. And then we go to the park that they have the decorations and lights up. They also have, that set up at the town park. So that's pretty cool. So we do that in our jammies with hot cocoa, and then we stay up all night playing our new family board game. So needless to say, we have way too many board games. All right, so now since we have that, let's do, where is our to and from? Let's change this up a little bit. I've buried the stamp set. There it is. Nope, that's not it. How can I bury the stamp set? Here it is. That's like the main part of the show here. All right, so we are using the to and from. And let's see if we have that going that way. We can just do it that way. There we go. And let's see, what does this one say? North Pole delivery. We can use that one. So we'll put that on the B block as well. And let's see, we want it facing sort of this way. So we're going to put it facing that way. There we go. Jazz it up a little bit. And so we're going to have a couple of these like that. Let's see, 3 of them will be good, I think. That is going to be so cute. I don't know if you can see, but get a closer look. And then I think we'll put like season's greetings right there. So what do you think? Ta-da! Like I said, it's going to be a simple project. But not completely disgusting, is it? Not too shabby. And then we're going to put dimensionals on everything. Again, you can see on these sides there's all kinds of mistakes. But no, like I said before, no one's going to see them. Okay, so let's take all our dimensional stickies off. We're almost done, guys. Yep, under an hour. It's kind of hard to keep these short, because you have to go through a lot of explanations, and wow. And even without a bunch of stories slowing me down, where I was actually focused for a while. Let's see, we'll put a couple of these. Let me get these set up before I permanently put that down. Yeah, so it's almost an hour. That's a lot more than I was thinking it was going to take. Okay, yeah, like that. So then we'll put this one. Actually, I think I'm going to put these on first. position that like that. And then we'll put that one like that. And like that, so it doesn't cover up the to and from. And then we'll put this one here, just a gift. And ooh, that's what we can do. We can just kind of layer it like that. Oops, we don't want to get rid of the delivery. How about over the from and under the delivery? Nope, there we go. That'll fit in right there. And then we can put season's greetings over here. Nope, don't like it. I don't think we need season's greetings there. No, I can't find the card we just made. Here it is. Yeah, I don't know. Do we want that? Or actually, we could put that. We could actually put the season's greetings down here. There we go. Okay, so that's that one. And that's that one. So these are pretty simple cards to make on purpose. We want them to be simple on purpose. So there you go. Again, I really, really wish that could be closer. I'm going to have to hold these up because I don't know if it's my eyesight or the camera, but it doesn't seem to be getting close up. So there are our cards. One is a little bit elegant and one's a little bit informal and artistic. So I hope you enjoyed this hour of creative process. Thanks for joining me. As always, I just am so appreciative of your time because I know how precious it is and how busy you are, how much you have to do in life. So any time you spend with me is very much appreciated. Don't forget to check out my blog, Stampin' Up with a Crafty Chick, my Stampin' Up life, and on WordPress.com. My Facebook page, Stampin' Up with a Crafty Chick business page, and Crafting with a Crafty Chick Facebook group. In the Crafty Chick group, we do card swaps, and there are some, we share projects and just support each other. There's no selling on that. If you want to learn about products and view my weekly newsletter video, then you can go to my Stampin' Up with a Crafty Chick business page on Facebook. Also, my store is at A Crafty Chick at stampinup.net. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can get notifications by clicking on the bell. Every time I upload a video, you'll get notifications. And when I go live on Facebook, if you're part of my Facebook group, you will get notifications as well. A hint, I will soon be doing a live paper pumpkin video and doing giveaways. So keep your eye out for that. That's coming in the next couple of days. Free paper pumpkins, and these are cute. They're Christmas cards. Guys, this is awesome. And Stampin' Up has sold out of the paper pumpkins this month. So they're not going to be on the clearance rack later like some of them are. They are sold out. So the only way you can get them is if you can buy them from somebody else who's already bought them, or get them free from someone like me who is doing a giveaway. All right. We are at 1 hour. I'm going to say goodbye. I've made all of my announcements, and I sure hope that you enjoyed your time with me. This is a crafty chick saying happy crafting, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.